Hey guys, it's Venom coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you all a 1-bar heavy attack build for update 46 for subclassing. There are a lot of different combinations and stuff that you can put together. I think this gives you the best survivability, sustainability, DPS, and playability. So on this build, we will be taking two subclassing skill lines from the Sorcerer, the Daedric Summoning and Storm Calling, and then one from the Warden, the Animal Companions. Alright, let's take a look at our character sheet. This is with a defensive pot. So we got over 35,000 max magicka, over 27,000 max health, 13,000 stam. Mag recovery is 1232, health recovery is 3232, stam recovery is 1006. Spell damage is over 5,000. We've got a 51.6 crit. Penetration is 9611. Spell resistance is over 29,000. Physical resistance over 25,000. Keep in mind, too, that our spell damage will go up again whenever you're using the Screaming Cliff Racer. That's going to give you another 400 plus weapon and spell damage. For the attributes, we have all 64 in the Magicka. The Mundus Stone is the Thief. For the food, I have the Artanum Pickled Fish Bowl. This is going to increase your max health and max magicka. It gives slightly higher values than blue food does, but if you don't want to run that, you can just run something like the Melon Baked Parmesan Pork. So just blue food or this is probably your best choice for your food. We'll take a look first at the champion tree. For the blue tree, we have Fighting Finesse. This is going to increase your critical damage and healing done 8%. Weapon Expert gives 20% more damage to your light and heavy attacks. Wrathful Strikes is 205 weapon and spell damage. Untamed Aggression is 150 weapon and spell damage. For your red tree, I have Strategic Reserve. This is going to give 30 health recovery for every 10 ultimate you have. Rejuvenation is going to give 90 health, magic, and stamina recovery. Fortified gives 1731 armor. Balanced Vitality is 1400 health. For the green tree, if you want it, I got Master Gatherer, Gifted Rider, Steed's Blessing, and Sustaining Shadows. Alright, let's take a look at our gear sets. For the staff, we have the Sergeant set, Sharpened Trait, Power Glyph. 2-piece gives max health, 3-piece health recovery, 4-piece weapon and spell damage, the 5-piece. When you deal damage with a heavy attack, you gain a stack of Sergeant's Focus for 5 seconds, increasing the damage of your heavy attacks by 645 per stack, and it can stack up to 4 times. All of the gear is Divines with max magic enchantments. The 1-piece is a Slime Crawl. For the head on the chest, we have Sergeants. And then the other set I like to run with this is More Scribes. This drops in Lucent Citadel. 2-piece gives critical chance, 3-piece Minor Slayer, 4-piece weapon and spell damage, 5-piece critical chance, and more 5-piece. Increase your critical chance 128 for every major buff active on you up to 1536. Increase your critical damage done 1% for every minor buff on you up to 12% critical damage done. So we have Moras for the shoulder, the waist, the hands, legs, and feet. We have Sergeant. Everything is Bloodthirsty Trait, weapon and spell damage glyphs. Sergeant is for the ring and necklace, and the other ring is Oaken Soul. While equipped, you're unable to swap between your primary and backup weapon sets. You gain Minor Berserk, Minor Courage, Major Brutality, Major Sorcery, Major Prophecy, Major Savagery, Minor Force, Minor Protection, Major Resolve, Minor Mending, Minor Fortitude, Minor Intellect, Minor Endurance, Minor Heroism, Minor Slayer, Minor Aegis, and Empower. Alright, let's take a look at our skills. I do swap some of these skills out depending on what I'm doing, but typically I will run this in most content. I may swap out, put on a ward. We have Bound Aegis. While slotted on either bar, your max magic is increased 8%. You gain Minor Resolve and Minor Protection, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 2,974, and it reduces your damage taken by 5%. Our spammable that I like to run at the end of your heavy attack is the Screaming Cliff Racer. This is going to command a cliff racer to dive bomb the enemy, deals over 10,000 magic damage. If you're more than 7 meters away from the target, you will set them off balance. This is a guaranteed off balance. If the target can be put off balance, it will be put off balance. So it's off balance on tap. After dealing damage, you increase your weapon and spell damage by 100 for 10 seconds, which will quadruple after damaging off balance enemies. So it's over 400 weapon and spell damage you'll get on your guy just from this skill, which is an excellent spammable, and it provides off balance, which is going to increase the damage to that target by a lot. Critical Surge, we're going to use this as your heal over time. While active, dealing critical damage will heal you for 3,630 health every 1 second. Deep Fissure, this is an excellent skill to run. It deals damage 2 different times, and it will put minor and major breach onto the targets. Even if you are running in a group where you have a tank and they're doing puncture, for example, which will put minor and major breach on the target, this will still attack twice. It's worth the skill just for the 2 attacks that's going to fire. Having the minor and major breach is just extra on top. So this is a great skill to run. It deals over 12,000 damage on the first attack for 3 seconds, and then it will burrow underground, it'll resurface and re-attack again, dealing even more damage on the second attack. The Twilight Mage from the Sorcerer skill line is still one of the best heals you can put on from any of the subclassing, especially if you are running solo and 4-player content. This will heal itself and 2 other targets. For the ultimate, the Summon Charged After Knock, this is going to deal damage on impact, it's going to deal damage over time, and if someone grabs the synergy, it's going to put Major Berserk into the group, allowing you all to deal more damage, 10% more damage. Look at some of the other skills that I like to swap out. Sometimes I will put on Regenerative Ward in place of the Valnegas. The ward is going to protect you. It's going to shield you from over 12,000 damage for 10 seconds, and it will heal you for over 2,000 health, and it will put Minor Intellect into the group. This scales off the higher of your max health or max magicka. Some other ultimate choices that you may consider is one from the Warden skill line, the Eternal Guardian. This is going to summon a permanent ultimate pet for you. This will deal damage, magic damage, and sometimes swap all enemies in front of it, dealing a lot more magic damage and stunning them for 2 seconds. Once summoned, you can activate the Guardian's Wrath for a low cost of only 64 ultimate. It will maul an enemy in front of it, dealing magic damage. It can deal up to 150% more damage to enemies below 25% health, and the Grizzly will respawn once per minute if it's killed. The other morph of this is also a good choice, but you'll have to just resummon your bear if it does die somehow, but it will put the hemorrhaging status effect and do bleed damage over time. Both are actually good choices to run. It's just really down to your personal preference, which one you want to run. Another ultimate that I would also consider running is Elemental Rage from the Destruction Staff skill line. When you run the Lightning Staff, you're going to get an extra 2 seconds, so it'll last for a total of 9 seconds. And it's going to deal magic damage once every second. So you want to make sure that you grab all of your passives as well. These are some excellent passives from the Daedric Summoning skill line. This is going to give you back 371 magic or stamina whenever your Daedric Summoning ability ends. It's going to reduce the cost of your ultimate abilities by 15%. It's going to reduce your damage taken 5% whenever you have a Daedric Summoning ability active. So as your Twilight is out, you just take 5% less damage. And this is going to increase your magicka and stamina and health 5% while your Twilight is out. Underneath the Storm Column, just make sure again you grab your passives. This is going to increase your health, magic, and stamina recovery by 141. Increase your physical and shock damage 5%. Increase the damage done against enemies 1% for every 10% current health they have. And then Expert Mage. This is going to increase your weapon and spell damage 108 for each sorcerer ability slotted. So we're getting 432 on this setup. Underneath the Animal Companions, again, very good choices down through here to have. This is anytime one of your animal companion skills end, you're going to be healed for 1683 health. So every time that you're casting your Screaming Cliff Racer, that's also going to give you a heal back. Savage Beast, whenever you cast an animal companion's ability, you're in combat, you're going to generate 4 ultimate. This can occur every 8 seconds. This is going to increase your magicka and stamina recovery 20%, and increase your critical damage 5% for each animal companion build slotted. We're going to get up to 10% on this current setup. So make sure you grab your passes for your destruction staff, your light armor, your heavy armor, undaunted if you can. I'm a high elf on this build, so just whichever race that you pick, make sure again you grab your passes for it. So as I was saying earlier, there are a lot of different choices that you can put together for the subclass, and if you want to swap stuff in and out, you can. It's no problem. But I think for, if you're just looking for like an Oaken Soul, a 1-bar heavy attack build, this is definitely my favorite build to run. And gear combination, especially when you look at like what Mora Scribes will provide you, and you pair that with Oaken Soul, these two are just kind of perfect for each other. And of course, Sergeants, if you're running a heavy attack build, this should always be a part of your build no matter what. But if you want to swap out one of your sets, feel free. You can swap out more Scribes and put on a different set if you like. But I think the bonus that this gives in conjunction with Oaken Soul is really too good not to use. And as far as your subclassing go, if you want to swap some of these out, absolutely feel free to do so. This is just, again, my personal preference to run. Again, when you're looking at solo and 4-man content for survivability, sustainability, DPS, and playability, I hope y'all will give this build a try. If you enjoy it, please drop a like and subscribe, and I'll try to get back to y'all with another video. Have a good one.